I'm gonna do this one again because I don't think there was a single 2 words in there. Like, whoo. Here we go. Hey, Firebase developers. Welcome to another episode of Ask Firebase, the show where we answer your burning Firebase questions. I'm your host, Jen Person, and today my co-host is Rachel Saunders, who is a technical writer on the Firebase team. Hey, Jen. Welcome.
Oh, thanks.
You know, we joke, but I feel really grateful to be part of the Firebase team because I think we do a really great job with documentation.
Yeah, I mean, it's all part of the package, right? There's like the documents that are like written things, and then there's stuff like you guys do with all your Firecasts, and those complement it. So they kind of all work together to kind of make the picture kind of work for all our developers, because without one, it really weakens the other, but it strengthens with the Firecasts and the code labs and the written docs that my team particularly creates.
You ready to answer some questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Emery says, it's me again. It's always great to hear from you. I need a suggestion. I have an app on the App Store for a year, and I didn't use email verification, but I will use it from now on. Is this going to affect my older users? Do I need to send them that email too? So what do you think? Does he need to send that email?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's up to him of whether or not he wants his users to have verified emails before using his app, or maybe certain features of his app. So it's always up to what your needs are for your app. But we do have a little tool to be able to help you manage the email verification. In the Firebase auth, it has a Boolean that's is email verified.
Right.
It's in the user info object.
Right.
And you and I chatted about a couple different options that Emery might explore.
Exactly, because the way that you find out if a user is verified is through that is email verified object, or that parameter of the user object. So a couple things you could do is, if you don't actually need your users to verify their email in order to use your app, you can use the admin SDK to flip that Boolean for the previous users to true. I mean, you're not going to want to do that client side because that would sort of defeat the purpose. Yeah. Then everyone will just say, sure, I'm verified.
But if the email verification is important to his app or to the different features of his app, you don't want to just flip that Boolean. So what you want to do is maybe add a check client side, say when the user next opens the app. And if the user is unverified, just send along a verification email so that the Boolean is flipped as intended.
Right. So we'll link to the docs with some examples. I don't know if there's a specific example of this in the guide, so maybe we're going to make one magically appear right here.
You got someone to do it.
I'll put one up on the screen also so that people can see what that would look like, specifically checking for that Boolean and then deciding what you're going to do with the UI based on that.
Yeah.
So this next question is for me. So do you want to read it?
Looks like Sean Mitchell asks about, is there a way in rules.firestore.request to determine if the admin SDK is actually initiating the action?
The short answer is no. Especially because if it's coming from the admin SDK, it's not going to be hitting those rules. I assume you're speaking about, if you're mocking a user from the admin SDK. So because the admin has administrative privileges, by definition, that means that no rules apply. You can do whatever you want, and it's done in your controlled environment, in your server or cloud functions, or however you're handling it. A better question might be, what is it that you want to achieve from doing this? If you want that behavior to be different, if it's coming from the admin SDK, then one option is, if you're going to mock a user in the admin SDK, so a pretend user that only exists in that environment, you could have them have a specific user ID. And then you can use your rules set up to check for that user ID. So maybe you only want that mock user to be able to do some sort of specific action that you don't want the client to be able to do. Or maybe you don't want them to be able to do it. And you could say, anyone can write this unless this is their user ID, which is the pretend one that you made. So actually, I'll throw an example up here so you can take a look and see what that would look like of mocking a specific user, and then how you could apply that to rules. I'll post it as well, maybe on GitHub, and I'll link to that below. Next question comes from Chahat, who wants to know, is it possible to declare different rules for different children of the database? So, an example, I want the children of profile node to only be read, and I want to restrict write permissions, but other nodes can be written too. Is that something possible with Firebase?
Yes, but how you do this depends on whether we're talking real-time database or Cloud Firestore. So
Right.
there's those two databases, and we always have to keep those in mind. It sounds like, and this is great, that you might be building your initial database structure. So now is the best time, right, to start thinking about how you'll need to structure your security rules so that they work for your data structure and data for all of your needs for your app.
I think that's a great call out. Once you're past the stage of having just like played with the real-time database or Cloud Firestore, if you're going to build something, I think it is a really great strategy to spend more time on your structure and spend more time thinking about how your rules are going to play into that structure. And really check out the documentation for some great examples of what is possible. We'll link to that below as well. But yeah, just really play with it, and you have the option to simulate rules in the console. So that gives you a great option to see if something works the way you think it's going to work.
Definitely.
It is good to hear that you're thinking about that in advance. Rachel, thank you so much for coming on and helping me answer these questions.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's always fun to see all these like different ways of how these things work together.
Yeah, and thank all of you for submitting questions. We really couldn't do this show without you. So please keep those questions coming and mark them with the hashtag AskFirebase. And who knows, maybe we'll be answering it here next time. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to the Firebase YouTube channel so you can check out all of the content that comes out. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on a future episode. I think what I need to do is get like some sort of outfit that like the line has to like perfectly align to this colors.